go.
Crash and flow.
I was praying beside another kid, very young, right? Taraweeh, dude, this Taraweeh was hella long. We can just talk about the podcast now. It like each rakat was like, it's like, what are we trying to prove over here? We can just, you could just read, you could read a little shorter, and we can go home. But like, you know, they're soldiers over there. And then this little kid beside me, bro, didn't move, didn't scratch his feet, didn't have. He was more locked in than I was. Like even when I was a kid, and I felt like I was pretty militant when I was a kid. Like I was pretty down. Like
What age were you?
pretty locked in.
Yeah.
Like 8, maybe 7. You know? He's by himself. I don't even know where his dad is. It's just him and me, right? And then we finished 6, and I ran. I forgot whether or not it was.
He's praying his dad comes back.
And I forgot like where we were. So I could have asked the adult, but I was so impressed with the kid. I figured, let me just ask him the question, right?
All right.
So I said, "Are we on 6 or 4?" Right? And he's like, "We're on 6." And I said, "All right, cool." And it was done. And in my head, I was like, I want to congratulate him. I want to be like, "Yo, you are doing so well. It's amazing." But like, I also realized from the kid's perspective, like, what is this guy?
Yeah.
Why?
This is a proper stranger danger.
Right? So I was like, but I really wanted to congratulate him. I'm like, buddy, you
Yeah.
because
You're one of the good ones.
yeah, basically, basically in my head.
If your dad doesn't come back, I'll take you. He's like, what?
Just let me know. Here's my phone.
My dad's making wudu, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I hope, inshallah, I hope you have a girl.
Yeah.
My wife and I have talked about this, by the way.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because it'd be great. I have a niece. Like, it's such different.
Yeah.
I have a nephew too. Like, and he's like, he's great, but he's like, he's walking around doing
It's a lot.
stuff.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I can tell my brother's having way more fun because he loved raising my niece, but like this is just so much more fun. But the energy, there's a lot more sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to go on some like hormone replacement or something.
Yeah, man. Or just take it as hey, this is the test God gave me. He's right.
Yeah.
Yasin Jr.
Yeah. Or maybe we can finally go. Where can we get the IV stem cell?
Why? Why does stem cells solve what?
I don't know. I feel like it just rejuvenates your body, right?
No, you need testosterone. You can get that at any hospital.
Okay.
I thought you could say ayahuasca. Yeah. What you really need is you need to have a psychedelic experience where you can like see your childhood, talk to your childhood.
Yeah.
And it's not like what in like NLP, and you'll like what Muhammad Sheikh does.
Yeah.
He'll probably like have you stand in a hula hoop and give advice to a younger version of yourself.
Yeah, no, actually he didn't do that much. For me, I think because he knows what approach works for me now.
Yeah.
Because I've gone a few times.
Right.
So no, he just puts me on a couch and like I go right into hypnosis.
I was in a hoop.
Yeah.
And that was useful. I was like, this is cool.
No, for him he's just like, listen.
But I've had people I've seen a lot of people have to have a talk with the childhood version of themselves on mushrooms with like a therapist.
So he did the same thing, but I was in trance.
No, man, I'm glad you have him because back in the day, that's witchcraft, bro. We're gonna burn him,
right? And he's like, he's a pretty like straight arrow Muslim guy too.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing not only thing, but that was the thing that made me feel like it's okay. Like if this guy, right, borderline Salafi is doing this, then it's got to be okay. I don't have to
He's a witch,
check.
bro. If this was
just don't fight it, man. Just go and then and then you can talk, and then that's great. Yeah, I realized that. Do you watch The Maze Runner?
Yeah, of course, all of 3 of them, I think.
Yeah,
obviously, the first one's so good, and after that, it's just like, what are we guys?
We don't even know what type of movie we want to be.
Is this connected to the first one at all?
Yeah,
I know the same people are in it.
It's really bad. But that first one, in the clearing,
yeah,
I have a replica of that in my head. So under like hypnosis, that's where I sit. So because he was like, okay, so where are you now? Explain this, like where you find yourself in.
All right,
dude, I'm in a clearing with tall walls all around me.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's from Fight Club too. It's just like you go to your safe place.
Oh.
Power animal.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, shout outs to NLP. I'll probably go, but you know,
It's
Not
good. I
right
don't know where
away.
he lives now, but is he still in Mississauga?
I think so.
Good.
Yeah.
Find your whatever things tools for
Right, yeah,
the baby
yeah.
stuff is very interesting.
Yeah.
It's I love it, but I'm like I don't know. It's so like I feel tired. Alhamdulillah, constantly. But
What I would like is if I could go to a clinic where I could get acupuncture and LLP at the same time, like a regular checkup.
man,
Oh man, I think that would be great.
should have a name for it. It's like hippie flipping.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's better than actual. Like for me, it was just better than therapy. Like I don't have to sit over here and tell you everything.
All right.
You know, you know what I'm saying? That was the big thing. Like I was just like I don't have to come with a notebook and be like, okay, a XYZ situation. I don't like that.
I enjoy it because there's something performative about like telling somebody your history. You're like,
I did it so much with my health
yeah,
over time, seeing so many different doctors and specialists. I know this is a different thing, but it's like a dating all over again where you have to do the whole. Like I'm like I don't want to do this anymore.
I get you, man. Mushrooms.
Yeah, if you don't want to do NLP, I guess there's always mushrooms.
I'm not saying you're not gonna flip out and see. I've seen some. I've only actually done enough where it's reality dissolving, maybe 3 times in my life, which is like 3 grams.
Yeah.
But those are like pretty heavy, like because you have to like then dissolve reality, be in a weird place that even if you look at your watch, none of the numbers make sense, and then you have to refragment and put it all back together.
Yeah.
And like that's where all the healing is. Everything before that is just like I'm dying, It's not a comfortable. I don't know how people do it and go to concerts. I was like, what do you mean you go for a walk in Toronto? Like, are you crazy?
Yeah. I guess if you trip long enough or
Often enough.
often enough, you start understanding how to be.
I
But
don't know.
It
If
seems
that's
weird.
Yeah, that's also like how people get introduced to whatever. It's just like for me, it was never anything. Just like sit down and journal, and then maybe cry and do your journaling paperwork, and be like, "Where did these tears come from?"
Yeah.
But yeah, some people are like, I tried to have some weird thoughts, but then let's put on Coldplay, and then it was fine.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that seems like you're still doing some escapism there. Yeah, you gotta face whatever.
it'll
But it depends on
grab
how you're working it, right? Yeah. it
it'll
depends on
grab
how
you.
you're-
That's the way I look at it. At some point, it'll grab you. You're, like,
Yeah.
you're dying 1 second at a time. You're like, ah!
Bro, I don't need mushrooms for that.
I know.
Like, I just need to stand for prayer and be like, the existential.
Yeah.
Because you're asking for your eternal soul during prayer, which then means that like it brings into, especially as you age a little bit, you're like, there's a finite.
Amount of time.
Yeah, you only got so much. We're not.
Yeah.
We're so impermeable.
Every time
like,
they do a
not per
janaza,
minute.
you have like a whole
Yeah.
like it hits you differently after the age of 40 than it does like at 27.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like
yeah.
at 27 you're like, some poor soul died. And when you're over 40, you're like, this could be any of us.
Right.
This could be me. This could be,
Yeah.
this could be any of us.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other news, did you see like this new hubbub about the pyramids and the superstructures underneath?
I did.
Yeah.
I read about it.
Yeah.
But what I like about this day and age is every social media influencer makes like 6 videos. So there's like so much content about it. But
Yeah.
apparently 600 meters deep. Can we just agree this is a power plant?
I mean, that's what I was thinking of doing. So I have some pieces of information.
Yeah,
Like,
please, tell
it
me.
does seem like, look, if it's actually true, then
Which LiDAR says it is.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I think they're misinterpreting the LiDAR. I'll get into that in a minute. But like as it is right now, based on what's floating around and what's fun to talk about, if it is true, then there's something way more important with regards to it's not a tomb for a dead guy.
Yeah, it's not a tomb
Right,
for a dead guy.
That I think I believe even before knowing about if there's a possible superstructure underneath. Like already, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right. Because then, surely, in Egyptian culture, you had your slaves, and then you had the pharaoh. Who was between those two classes? They had to be like regular Egyptians that were upper class, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Right. So then, wouldn't they get like little pyramids? Like they would get smaller versions of the pyramids?
I think you
Like,
should
is it-
make the point you were trying to make because this one is wonk. This is, this is sideways. This is
I'm just saying, like, I was like, okay, so we only made one. All right, fair enough.
well, there's more than one.
Yeah, but like the greats.
There's at least a few.
How many pyramids are there in
You're
the
in front of the computer.
Okay, I'll
brother.
check that out in a minute. But here, so it turns out that all of this is like a resurfacing of a report written by two guys back in 2015.
Okay.
Okay, the two guys are Corrado and Filippo, right?
Okay, I've heard them both.
Right. Okay, so they're researchers from Italy and Scotland.
Yep.
And what they allegedly found was a superstructure underneath the pyramids of Giza, right? Discovered by synthetic aperture radar, SAR technology. Yeah. And then, so this is what they claim they found, okay? 8 vertical cylindrical shafts, structures that extend up to 2,100 feet deep, so 600 meters, in a network of interconnected corridors and chambers. I think that's at the bottom of the base of it, and it's believed to be a part of a subterranean city or complex. I don't know why your city of would require 8 gigantic cylindrical shafts that goes deep into the ground, but all right, cool. So the researchers suggest that it could link the legendary Hall of Records said to contain the ancient wisdoms of the lost civilization of Atlantis. That is wild. That's crazy if this is also connected to the ancient civilization of Atlantis. It's verified. If verified, it would drastically redefine our understanding of the Giza Plateau and the ancient Egyptian engineering. Which, again, if it is true, then they really didn't make it with slaves.
Yeah, I have no idea how they made it. I don't think that's really the point of it. Is like, did slaves make this?
I mean, I like marvel at even the smallest thing, and so like if it's not slaves that made it,
But
then
you can make it with slaves, right? Why not? Because it's like, this is the conversation that is pointless, but it's fun to have.
Right.
But why can't you? You can use slaves for anything.
Even
if they're using technology, they can be slaves.
I think that the feasibility of being able to take the rocks from a quarry so far away.
Oh, you're saying slaves like manually? Like
Yeah.
you could just make them work and not pay them is what I consider slavery. I didn't mean like they made it by hand.
Yeah, I think that there's. I think that there might be more technology in the past that they're well beyond
100%.
our understanding.
I think anybody that would say to the contrary is just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
Because there's no way like they had less technology than us.
Right.
Very honest, like the more you look at everything that is old as crap, whether it's the stuff in Sri Lanka, it's like we don't have those capabilities today. They obviously had, at the very least, drills, if not a way to manipulate
Heavy mass,
and possibly like run sound or vibration through it to like change its shape or how to move it and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, from what I can tell, like apparently it was lush back in the day there. It was water.
Oh, and they had like hundreds of years of rain as well that eroded certain portions of the surfaces. All right. So So why are experts skeptical about the whole situation? This comes the party poopers, but all right, here we go. So they said that first of all, it's not peer reviewed, the document, right? Radar experts saying that SAR can't reliably detect structures that far into the ground. So those are the other things. So they might be misinterpreting the information that they're getting from SAR. Right. And this is not a new discovery. It was written way back thing. I don't know how sometimes stuff like this happens.
Where I think Tesla also he theorized that this is a power plant.
Yeah, power plant. Yeah. He did. Yeah. So no official excavations or confirmation from the Egypt Ministry of Antiquities. So right now, there's not even a plan for them to be able to go in and then double check this. But like, why not?
That way they can be like, we made this. We made this fairly recently.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's an Egyptian thing.
Yeah, and not the
whatever
ancients, whoever it is.
Whoever was in that area prior.
Yeah.
Because that's who made it.
For sure. But it wasn't the pharaohs that made it. Pharaohs just looked at it and they said like, wow, this looks like a very special structure and to be revered. And then they're like, what do we do? Let's take out these guts, put it in pots.
I think every generation or civilization that came across it made their own version and shittier and shittier. I think there's like proof of that. Because they did kept trying to make like tombs and stuff, and some of them are like, wow, it's like a bunch of idiots
like
made
they
it.
look crude compared to what we see in Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, when you get inside some of these, like the walls are so smooth, like everything is perfectly placed.
yeah,
when
the
you get
tolerances in between the blocks is.
and when you
like
get to the
razor
newer
shit.
stuff, it's like shittily made. Even though you would think like it's more advanced. Like obviously, you can, like as soon as you look at the inside of the old stuff versus the new stuff,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, they were better, way better making the old stuff.
Yeah.
So like, either we've lost whatever technology.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There was like a degenerate, like it was the technology itself was degenerating over time, and then but like the elders of the time had the memory of this is what things were built, this is the way how it was, so that was their best attempt, and so I think that's what makes it interesting. Of like, you know, there are pyramid structures that were made with crude. Like instruments, and then at the same time there's also other pyramids where it's like, I mean, you can try to apply the same thing, but it doesn't seem like it's feasible. You know. But that's cool. Like I would like to see. I mean, I don't think like, do you think that within like the Egyptian government, it's in their best interest to look into it themselves, because what if they unearth like a power source,
Right, not nuclear, but blink, right?
Right, exactly.
What was that thing in Indiana Jones? Not the Holy Grail, but the thing that if you look at, you die.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I haven't watched it in so long.
You can ask Siri. It's but yeah, a power source of some sort.
Yeah, and then they would control it.
Yeah.
I mean,
boom.
ostensibly, until the United States decides
Yeah,
that.
it comes in like, you know, we made the pyramids. Everybody knows that.
But it'd be so hard to steal. You can't steal a pyramid. You can steal the land. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah,
I
you really
forgot about.
can.
I forgot about colonization.
I'm hoping I think they will get around to it. I think they'll do the research, Egyptians or whoever.
Ark of the Covenant.
Ark of the Covenant. Right. Exactly. That's what the Ark of the Covenant is. If you listen to like ancient alien,
Tell me about it. I don't know anything about it.
it's basically, they say that this was whether it was a radioactive thing or something, but it can be used to power things, and if you open it, it would melt people at a certain radius around
Okay.
it and whatnot.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, that sounds like radiation.
It does sound like radiation, but I wonder how they were applying it. Like, did they figure like this boils water, which then turns a propeller, which like
That's
they gotta
the
do
thing we
you know?
won't ever know, is that before the Great Flood stuff, it's
Yeah.
like, we have no idea. We just know those people were bad. That's the thing in most religions. Like, what happened? People were bad.
For 900 years, they were
Really
absolute buttholes.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But after that, it's just like,
And then there's multiple resets, right?
yeah, but I wonder what was the peak advanced civilization prior to this one.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll never know. Unless, like, you plug as much as you can into AI and it comes with a bunch of theories and one of those is right.
One of those,
and
yeah,
people will probably still argue about that.
Yeah.
But it's obvious, like, these things weren't... People were way more advanced if they were just making... They definitely weren't doing this for leisure. And if they had a way of figuring out how to use the magnetic poles as energy, which is obviously unlimited, which is super eco-friendly. Magnetic
the
poles.
cleanest.
Yeah, the cleanest.
Yeah.
And then us idiots are like, yeah, it's for dead people, you know? And we're like, yeah, that sounds about right.
But even then, those dead people, they're like, it's not enough to just put him and entomb him. We gotta empty him.
No, well, that stuff is wild. But like,
Send a hook
yeah, that's also
into his nose.
That's the religion. Like, if you look at, you know, like you go to India, just like at the beginning of 19th, they were just burning women when their husbands died.
Yeah.
Like every, you know, religions it can get wild. So like emptying a dude of their organs, you know, seems pretty like, no, put a cat in there with him. No, it's alive. You know, like,
Did they put live cats in there?
you could probably Google it. It's funnier for the joke, but like, let me fix it.
Yeah.
No, kill the cat. Put it in a pot. Like, dude, it doesn't
So
get
many
better.
pots.
So many pots. Yeah, put a bunch of jewelry in there. He probably wants his jewelry in
Right.
the afterlife. This is...
I mean, in a way, that was kind of cool that they did do it, so that it preserved some bodies, and now you have them in a museum.
Bro, yeah, it's wild.
Have you seen what King Tut would have looked like?
I've seen the whatchamacallit,
Yeah.
but it's like assuming a few things racially and stuff because you're assuming a certain lineage is existed. It's not like they can DNA test King Tut and be like Mediterranean. Like we're just assuming everybody stayed put,
Right.
you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So
Still looks kind of weird though.
yeah,
He's got like inbreeding signs.
that could happen.
Yeah,
If
with
it's
regards to
also
his bone structure and stuff like that.
with all of that, since everything is hierarchy is related to your bloodline,
Right.
then like inbreeding makes perfect sense.
I mean, it still happens now. Like in upper class France, for example.
Sure.
Like the elites, they still do that. They just do it quietly, and they obfuscate it by giving each family like 7 names. You have like a first names, 3 middle names, and a last name.
Right.
And then what happens is that as they see fit, they will move the name around so that they can obfuscate that they've done an inbreeding situation.
And then you get like a weird dumbass prince.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of DNA, buddy, for the people who have been listening to the podcast for a long time, you already know this, but there was a time when Syed and I were thinking about doing a 23andMe.
We paid for it.
We paid for the kit. The kit came in, and then I started doing some research with regards to what will happen to my DNA. And then I said, you know what? Based on the terms and conditions, I'm not good with this.
I couldn't spit enough in the vial. I sat down and tried doing it. It was taking too long. I lost interest.
Fair enough. Okay, so say it for other reasons. For me, out of paranoia of the government owning my DNA.
So funny.
Turns out,
Yeah.
23andMe is going bankrupt, and as I researched before, when they go bankrupt, all of their information is up for grabs.
Oh.
They can sell your information.
Yep.
In fact, that's the only thing that they have that will be able for them to recuperate money. And who is interested in said?
The government.
Well, in this case, one of the possibilities are insurance companies. They want to get the DNA because there's millions of samples, right? So for them to be able to health insurance specifically, because then they'll have your records.
I'd be like, hey, you're gonna have Alzheimer's, kid.
And then they can modify when you're going and getting a quote, they can modify your premium based on the information that they already have that they were able to get from this the 23andMe going bankrupt.
Dang, I'm glad we didn't spit.
And so that is one of those things where it's most plausible that that's what's happening. Obviously, there's plenty of people who would be interested in your DNA, but like there are other aspect. There's other places where your DNA might end up. They could end up in a lab if they're doing cloning. They are free to do whatever they want with that property because you have given it up when you send it.
You think me spitting into a vial enough can make I guess it could make a clone depending on how well you're keeping all these vials.
Right? Yeah.
I guess.
Bro.
But you could do it so much, like you just take a finger. If they really wanted to get
you could walk by me and then cut me and get a little bit of blood or whatever. But nonetheless, this was the reason why we didn't do it. We didn't do it because that don't feel good. Like now it's just being sold to the highest bidder. And normally the guy who's the highest bidder is not a good guy.
It's not up to no good. It's
right?
Like BlackRock.
Like it's BlackRock. Exactly. Yeah. Like BlackRock buying it. He's not doing it because they just like spit.
Yeah.
Right?
And that would be the nicest thing.
Right?
Like,
he's just like pouring it on himself.
That's my thing. That would be the harmless.
Yeah, I would be like, everyone would be okay with it. All right, buddy, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Right? No, BlackRock is doing, it's got to be nefarious. It's never going to be like, it's like, there's no positives with that type of situation.
It's unfortunate because you do really want to and need to know what's happening in your DNA and stuff. It's just like, it's important.
Yeah.
It's like, who do you trust?
Bro, they need to do a completely different type of program where, because you send it in and it goes into a lab and then they test it, right? They got to do it. So you send it in and then after you go to the company and then after you watch your vial, it gets tested.
And then you get smash it afterwards. You're like, give me the report. Okay. Smash.
Right. And then go, because like now even 23andMe is saying like, okay, you can follow this process so you can delete your information.
Yeah,
really, bro?
Yeah.
Really, bro? Really, I'm going to believe that if I send you, like, I follow these steps, you're going to delete the record, you're gonna tell me that it's deleted,
Yeah.
right? You're gonna put a little label on it that says like, "Hey, this guy deleted it, so don't
And
let
then
it
you're
come
gonna
out."
laugh. You're gonna like, hey, this guy thinks we just deleted it.
This doesn't make any sense.
I'm gonna send it in. I'm gonna put your name on it. And hey, just put somebody else's, just some other brown guy.
Yeah, fair enough. That's true.
And then it's not.
But they'll
me.
know. But the thing is that like I don't know how many people in Mauritius has done it. I don't know how if any of my families have done it.
I think genetically, your
It'll just put me in
genome-
India.
Yeah, of course, dude. I mean, I love you, bro, but you're not from. You're from there in a way, like your family is from there and their family. But that's just such a small part of your timeline.
Yeah.
If you look at the Desareth bloodline,
Yeah.
it's like you guys vacationed in Mauritius. That's all.
Yeah. 3 or 4 generations, and that's it.
That's nothing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like so, yeah. But I like that you feel islandy.
Well, I feel it in my soul.
I know,
Right?
I like that.
Like when I go to Mauritius, I'm like, this is home.
This
It
is my
feels-
people.
Feels
This
absolutely
volcano.
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, you're from a field. You're from a rice field, bro.
No, I'm from a sugarcane field.
I'm from a sugarcane field with volcanoes and beaches.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro.
Yep. One day we can go. One day
Yeah.
you can go. And
Oh
you can
no, I
see-
get it. Hey, listen. If any part of me was connected to a beach, I'd lean into it so hard. Like, yes, I feel it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm by Lake Ontario. I feel like I'm from there. I've lived in front of it for like 3 years, and I felt like I think I'm lake people. I'm lake people.
This is my body of water.
Yeah.
Do you know how many? To get an idea on how big
Lake Ontario's.
Lake Ontario is, I did this calculation. It was just fun. You can put 9 Mauritiuses in Lake Ontario.
Wow, that's how small Mauritius is. That's so small.
Mauritius is 2,000 square feet.
How many football fields?
2,000
I'm a man, bro. Don't make me
2,000 square kilometers. Sorry.
2,000
You want me
square
to just ask because
Yeah.
I think I already have that.
ask
string.
it like, what are the easiest way to explain to a dumbass how big Mauritius is? And that's for me. I need football fields. I need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the circumference of Mauritius.
Yes,
You didn't ask for
I
this,
know
but I'm
that.
giving it to you anyway.
I know what circumference is.
Okay. It's 330 kilometers.
Oh,
Go around you to go around it. Okay?
yeah. That's not that much, dude. I can do that on a couple of tanks of gas.
Football fields in a Mauritius. This is what ChatGPT was made
Yeah.
for. All right, let's see.
We're going to be measuring everything in football fields for 5 minutes. Like compared to Iceland, how many football fields is Iceland?
Oh, damn it. It's saying FIFA regulation, brother. It's doing it soccer.
Yeah. that's
So
fine.
585 soccer fields.
That sounds like nothing. 580
No. Sorry. 585,000
soccer fields.
fields.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still too dumb to get.
Let me know if you meant American football.
It should be about the same.
No, the smaller.
Yeah.
Yes, American football. Damn. All right, let's see what it says for American football. But I mean, like when I did it, it also gave me an appreciation of how big that lake is, bro.
Yeah, that's a big lake.
That's 9 of my countries. That is so big that
9
there's so
islands.
much water.
Yeah.
381,000 American football fields. That's too tough,
I
bro.
know,
You
I
got
know.
there's no way.
I gotta see it.
right?
I gotta see it.
Bro, I can tell you this.
I need a helicopter ride. That's what I need.
Because when you're going by airplane, you have to fly across Mauritius, do a U-turn, and then land. You land in the south, right? But you approach from the north. So like when you're in the airplane, you look out and you're like, oh, it's Mauritius, right? You look out, and then maybe like a few minutes, you look out again, and you're already doing the U-turn.
Yeah, man, that's
Because
crazy.
like by car, it's an hour and 30 minutes from north to south.
Nothing.
So like not even a couple minutes, and then your airplane has to do a turn so that it can land.
Oh,
So it's really
subhanallah.
small. Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool that like also nobody lived there until people like were like, all right.
You know what's a sad thing
Yeah.
is Muslim Arabs
Tried,
were
but they could.
no, they were the first there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were the first explorers
Yeah.
there, and they named the place Dina Arobi, or deserted island or deserted land. There was no one there, and for them, it wasn't of interest for them to turn into some sort of port or whatever. So they just moved on. But it's documented in Arabian maps, Mauritius. Man, how crazy would it have been if they're like, at the very least, let's build a pier
And
like
a
a port
masjid.
and a masjid, right? You know, then it would have been.
Shawarma stands
Oh
everywhere.
man, it would have been
A
cool.
few people, I think the Danish also, and some people tried and they just couldn't get it to stick. You
Yeah.
apparently have to get like a lot of indentured servants to like, it's like, because
To make a country, yeah, you need a
because
lot
you're
of,
not going to do that with white people. It's not like, all right, we're going to get Danes
Mm-hmm.
to move from there to this island. That's hard life.
I mean,
But
yeah,
if you go to a crappier place where people are like, I'll go on a boat,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
yeah,
and then they're like, all right, I guess we're here now.
yeah. Danish tried to come in, and then the British came, but like British had so much infrastructure,
Yeah.
right? They had everything.
They just didn't
right?
have people.
No, they had that too.
No, they just had to bring in other people. They didn't
No,
have-
I know that they didn't have their people. They had other
Exactly.
people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They
is
had
that
other people.
That's how they kind of like lost. They couldn't export their people. They were even Australia is just like nobody wants to go. How do we get people? Prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
It's so far
Yeah,
from England, but
and
they
it's so hot.
but that was an effective way to colonize.
Mm-hmm.
Is because if you were just all right, we'll just move. You know, we conquered Fiji. We'll move some Fijians down here.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, it'd just be Fiji, New Fiji,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because that's what Mauritius is. It's its own thing. It's not like a British, whatever. You go down there, it doesn't feel like Australia.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad you guys did it. Yeah,
Somehow,
Now
we
it's
worked.
like-
We worked. They worked out their contracts, the indentured servant contracts.
you're probably just working for white people for the first 2 generations, right? You're like just like that's who they put in charge.
Yeah.
And then
Just
slowly but
cutting
surely.
sugar cane or cultivating tea
Yeah,
or any
tea
type of
was-
manual labor.
tea was a big deal back in. That's like
Bro,
yeah, tea was everything.
Wars, dude.
Salt, and you know what? That's what you realize. It's like they'll have wars over
Anything.
anything. When you have guns and you're trying to get at a cheap price, you'll fight over anything.
Yeah.
It's always apparently been the case.
Yeah.
So,
And back then, it was like also if you had land that could cultivate the tea, we want that shit.
yeah.
Right, because it needed to be like some certain amount of rain, certain amount of like the type of soil. They did be like once when you find out it's perfect, someone else is like, I heard it's perfect.
Dude, anywhere there's a volcano, apparently it's good for growing
Bro,
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grapes too. That's why when you go to like Hamptons or you go to parts of California or even parts of Ontario where grapes they make it's like wine country.
Mm-hmm.
It's just grapes apparently only grow in certain types of soil and stuff. And
Really?
that's why it's like very valuable. And
Damn.
you'll always
Well, our soil is great. We had a neighbor who made his own wine, and he had like climbing like actual the wine grapes or whatever.
yeah.
And then he got a divorce and he had to leave.
Dang.
But
that
then he
must have
gave
hurt.
us his plant.
Oh, wow.
So we had it for a few years. Yeah, maybe like 10 years we had it.
Nice.
But we would just eat the grapes,
Right.
right? And to some degree, I was like, I feel like they would think that it's a waste. This could
They
have
would
been-
be like, "Oh, you gotta wait."
yeah.
That's a Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch
joke.
Hedberg,
Yeah.
for sure. So Bill Burr's got a new stand-up. I don't even know where it's at, bro.
Hulu.
It's in Hulu?
Yeah, I can't find it
okay.
anywhere. I looked it up. It's on Hulu.
He doesn't have a website where he also sells it for like, I guess no, because like he gave it to Hulu, so he has to like run it
Yeah.
for Hulu. But I'm not gonna sign up for Hulu just so that I can watch a special. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Bill.
I know. I'm sure
Gonna
he
have
got
to be a
paid.
pirate.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting affected. He's like, it's okay
I got
with me.
paid.
He's like,
I got paid. Yeah.
who has Hulu anymore?
Yeah.
That seemed hot for a minute. There was like a 4-year span where you're like, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And then
He must have gotten the maximum amount of money.
I wonder, but we won't be probably not listed anywhere.
I'll just do a quick Google, and then with that, we're gonna end the podcast because it is the 27th night. All right. Bill Burr, Hulu, how much paid? $15 million.
No way, dude. Good for Bill.
Yeah. This is rumored to be $15 million.
That's the type of rumor I would spread, even if I got paid 100,000. That's the exact rumor that I would spread.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. When nothing is verifiable, you want to say like, "Oh yeah, I got so much money." You want me in a commercial? That's what I would say.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
And yeah, people are like, "Okay, that's a standard.
Yeah.
Let's pay the man."
All right, I'm gonna watch it after Ramadan's over.
After Ramadan,
Yeah, we've already gotten this far. All right, people, this has been episode 488. Thank you for hanging with us. We'll be back in a week. Take care of yourselves. Good night.